All right, I am talking to Christina Finzen. Hi, Chris.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Now, tell me what it is you do here for ARC.
So I am part of the virtual assistance program. So anytime someone needs help, if they get bogged down or if they want to contract with me, I can take care of all of their admin needs.
Okay. And how long have you been with ARC?
I've been here since July of last year.
Okay. And what did you do before?
I spent 20 years in back office at a broker-dealer and then 2 years at an independent RIA firm.
And what brought you here?
You know, just looking to do something different and expand what I was doing. I wanted to get out of back office and that whole rat race and deal more with the clients directly and actually see who I'm helping.
Gotcha. So how many advisors are you supporting right now, and roughly what does that look like from a time commitment?
So right now I have 3 advisors that are contracted, or 3 practices that are contracted with me. And then I also do one-offs for, reps should they have a big onboarding issue or have a special project that they need done. I keep busy, but I most definitely have time to, bring someone else on. I have the bandwidth to help with whatever somebody might need.
Gotcha. So for those folks that have the regular ongoing contract, how do you fit into their practice? What kinds of things you're doing? How would you describe that to someone who's is thinking about what they might need?
So for one of the practices, I basically do everything from scheduling to opening accounts. That advisor really needs to do nothing except meet with the clients and schmooze, and then I take it from there.
Okay. And you said that's for one. What about the others?
The other ones, it's more of, account openings, paperwork, making sure that their meetings are up to date, that everything's put into Smart RIA. It's a lot of just dotting their I's and crossing their T's.
Okay. So those 3 advisors or practices, do they have any other staff that's helping them from an operations or assistant type person?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just their girl Friday.
So in theory, for the right advisor, you could kind of replace the need for a part-time or full-time, depending on their need and their volume, that you can fulfill that role.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And of course with all of those practices, I work across all different platforms, the custodial platforms of TD and LPL, and now working on becoming proficient with the new Schwab system, and then there's CRMs of Redtail and Salesforce as well.
Okay, and so would an advisor need to be using Salesforce or Redtail for you guys to work together?
I mean, it wouldn't be necessary, but it'd be much more efficient.
Okay. How else do you get tasks from them? How do you communicate if someone has something for you to work on? What is it?
Emails or phone calls or face-to-face meetings.
So whatever works for the advisor most of the time?
Whatever. And since I'm here in the Dallas office, if they're local, I can come to them, they can come to me. We could have lunch at Velvet Taco.
How do you juggle the different requirements each different advisors have? How do you decide what to work on first, or how's the volume affect you and the different maybe needs?
I mean, obviously, you have to prioritize whatever tasks are on your desk on any particular day, but money always comes first, obviously. Getting money in and getting money out, and then, account setups, and then, further down the totem pole is setting appointments, unless it's an emergency, of course. You just have to roll with the punches and figure out where to direct your efforts.
Gotcha. Is there anything that you find that advisors are most appreciate, or what are they most excited about when you started working with them in terms of what you help them with?
I think so. I have a plan, especially I help them a lot with opening new accounts and getting accounts ACAT'd in and in order. So I have a form and I send it to them and it collects all the information that I need. And once they give me that form, they don't have to worry. They can just step back and know that the process is gonna be done. And I don't have to bother them again. And if they get all that information to start with, we don't have to bother the client either. And so it makes things very streamlined and very quick.
Awesome. And so it sounds like for at least one of the practices you work with closely, you're very client facing, and the other two you're less forward client facing and more background. Is that
correct? And
you don't mind doing both?
I don't mind either one.
Okay. What about your experience? Obviously we have TD and then now Schwab, but we got a lot of time, the energy, and money custody to LPL. What's your comparison with them versus other places you've been from an operational standpoint?
So I've worked on a lot of front and back office systems, from the ones that LPL, TD, Schwab. At the broker-dealer, we worked on the old DOS systems, FIS, and we worked on a proprietary system. But in my opinion, the LPL platform is the most intuitive and easiest to use because it asks you all the right questions to make sure that you get all the right forms. I find with TD especially, you have to know the form that you need. If you go through the wizard, it doesn't prompt you. If you answer a question as A, it doesn't take you to that form. You know what I'm saying? So, but for instance, on LPL, if you say this is a rollover, then it automatically asks you more questions, and the other systems don't do that.
Gotcha. Well, that's good to hear because we all find frustrations from time to time with any business partner like LPL that you work with that closely. So it's good to hear that outside the experience that this place LPL at least compares fairly well. Because you don't know what you have until you try something else, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, I think of all my years being in this business, 25, going on 30, like LPL's front-facing system is the easiest to use.
Gotcha. And I assume you still have the experience where you have to chase stuff down.
All the time.
Yeah. And how do you handle that kind of stuff?
I mean, it's kind of fun. I love going down a rabbit hole.
Okay. It takes all kinds, right?
Right.
So you just badger them until it's done, or keep working on it?
Or find a way to get around. Like if I have to go to one particular person, they don't answer me after multiple attempts, I'll find another way.
Yeah, cool. Do you interface much with anyone else around here in terms of ARC related? How does I guess your job is mostly with the advisors, right?
Right, but because I am, as an assistant to the advisor, clearly I interact with compliance a lot, making sure that the advisor is paying attention to the notices that came out, or do we need to make these Class A conversions, and, just keeping them in line. So that's really where I focus, is with compliance mainly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then maybe sometimes AIQ.
Gotcha. And what... one reason we started talking today is because I learned that you like to get going pretty early in the day. What's your typical work day look like, hours-wise?
Yeah, I don't sleep well, so I'm usually in here between 6 and 7, and then I'm pretty much done when market closes.
Gotcha.
I mean, clearly I stay longer if there's something imperative, but I'm here early.
Gotcha. And from our conversations earlier, basically you are ready, willing, and able to take care of more advisors that are open to it. So you're kind of ready to go, right?
I am, and the one-offs, those little special projects, they're fun, but I think to get the most out of me, if we could establish some sort of relationship, even if it's on a 10 hours a month basis, that would, I could learn you, you could learn me.
Yep.
And then we could just become efficient and, handle whatever comes up for you.
Cool. Yeah, I think one of the great potential values for someone that's looking for to delegate some operational stuff is the low risk nature of working with you on a one-off basis, a la carte, if you will, while you still have the capacity. And it might be someday that doesn't work for us and for you, but it's very hard to, it takes a lot of energy to find, train, compensate, all the things with an assistant, even if it's just part-time, to make sure that it's a fit. And if it's not, or someone moves on to another role, or their life situation changes, that change I think burns people out of potentially hiring. So being able to start with this very low risk relationship is extremely helpful. Because if someone were to start working with you, the onboarding is pretty minimal, right?
Very minimal. I just need to know what CRM you use. If you want to give me access, where do you prefer to do your business? TD, Schwab, LPL. And we just really go from there. There's not a whole lot. We'll just talk about your practice a little bit and what's important to you and what you see me doing for you. So if you want to talk to the clients and I do all the back end work, great. If you want me to reach out to your clients, that's great too.
Awesome.
And then if you have any special signature that you want me to use, then we have to get that, go through the hoops for that.
Right, that makes sense. And even the way that this does come with an investment, obviously, but we can deduct that from your advisory run, so that's pretty straightforward. Even that's transparent and simple. Anything else that would be important for people to know about what you do, what you can help with, or?
I mean, because I like to go down rabbit holes and dig around and stuff, I can help with anything you want. Just, let's talk about it. What's your end goal and what information do you need? And we can figure it out together.